Hey, this is Carla from the Butcher Babies.
This is George Corner Fisher from Cannibal Corpse.
Hey, this is Rex from Kill Devil Hill. It's Wednesday 13. This is Dad from Devil Driving.
This is Odorous from War. You're listening to Rabid Noise
on Rabid Radio.
Turn it up.
And we're back on Rabid Noise. That was Drink from Alestorm, who will be back to destroy the country at the end of this month. And here to talk all things Alestorm, keyboardist Elliot Vernon. What's going on, man?
Hello, I'm doing well. I'm drinking a beer.
A beer or beers?
Well, I just finished my first one. I have more.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. At least you got more. Well, you are, of course, returning to our shores again in support of your latest Alpha Sunset on the Golden Age for the Pirate Fest tour. And you've been here a few times before. You guys must really like this or something.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we came in 2013, that was my first time because I joined the band 4 years ago now. But this will be the band's fourth time in Australia, I think. We really connect with the Australian way of life, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. The whole drinking and the partying and stuff. Did you have a blast last time you were here, man?
Absolutely, yeah. Last time we made a DVD, so we had like a guy following us around with a camera all the time, like the bonus disc documentary. So we were kind of encouraged to do really stupid things, but it didn't really make any difference. We always do stupid things, so it was fun.
That's awesome, man. Well, you're hitting the road with Lagerstein and Troldhogen, which...
Troldhogen, yeah.
Yeah. Is that how you pronounce it? Troldhogen?
That's how they pronounce it.
Yeah, well...
I think they pronounce it wrong because it's actually something Norwegian, but I don't know. That's how they pronounce it.
Yeah, Troldhogen, which... a lot of people like that band. They're pretty cool. I just can't pronounce their name, which looks like it's going to be a blast. And you've, of course, toured with Lagerstein before. Apart from also being pirates, what makes them great touring mates?
I mean, we toured with Lagerstein a few times. We did a big Europe tour with them, and we toured with them in the UK, like for the Pirate Fest UK last year. And like when you're on a tour, like in Europe or the UK, obviously you're doing it in a tour bus. You're driving between all the shows. And the days all kind of just like blend together because you wake up in the same bed on the bus and then you wander into a dressing room that looks pretty much the same as the one the night before. And it usually takes until like, the doors open and all the people start coming in for all the fun to kick off. But when you have Lagerstein on the tour, it's just like, impossible not to be happy immediately as soon as you wake up. Because, yeah, they're all just having so much fun. There's like an innocence about them where they're always having so much fun. Whatever they're doing, they're always having fun and singing songs. It's great. It's a lot different from touring with any other band. It's incredible.
That's awesome, man. So you'd say they're like your brother band?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's impossible to not be happy when they're around.
They're a good bunch of dudes, man. Well, of course, you do a lot of touring, man, and, a lot of bands. You play with heaps of bands. So to survive a tour with Alestorm, what advice would you have for those bands?
Don't take anything too seriously. We did a festival tour called Metal Fest originally, in Europe in 2012, and we were on a tour bus, and the two bands that we were put with on this bus were Skullfist, who were like a Canadian speed metal band, and Triptychon, the guy from Celtic Frost, and they're all like old men and don't like having fun. And I don't know why we were put with those. And I think it was because of scheduling, because there were like 6 or 7 festivals all around Europe, and some bands are playing some of the days, and everybody swaps over on the different days. So I think they just did it through scheduling, but we somehow ended up with Triptychon, and they're all very nice, but they didn't like noise or drinking or staying up past your bedtime or guests on the bus. We have a lot of friends, and we bring our friends on the bus, and it always comes into big silly parties. And yeah, they were a bit old and miserable for that.
Oh, that's a bit of a
shame. You have to know how to have fun.
Well, that's what it's about, man. Going out there and enjoying it. Because the long days on the road and everything like that, you might as well make it a party instead of have your cup of tea and go to bed.
I don't particularly need to speak bad of Triptychon particularly, but they've been doing it for the past 20 years, and I think we have some youth energy that they've probably lost over the years.
Very true, man. Which country would you say you get the rowdiest response?
Australia. Absolutely. There's something about, obviously, we have this kind of like stupid, dry, like British humour in a lot of the things, particularly that Chris says on stage between songs, and that gets lost in a lot of places, like especially in mainland Europe, Germany and Poland and all of those places where they don't really understand the cleverness of the humour that we're using or the zany, like stupid stuff. And Australia seems to connect with that exactly the same way that we do, which is great.
I have found that, man. I've found a lot of the bands from over your way, and they are a lot of fun to talk to as well, because you know we can relate with the same sort of humour and everything like that. So yeah, I can totally get like why Australia would be massive for you guys, because we love it.
Yeah, I think we just like to have the same kind of fun, but the weather's nicer in Australia, so we enjoy it even more. That's pretty much it. It feels like being at home, but being somewhere with nice weather.
Awesome, man. We're going to go to the track Surf Squid Warfare, and we'll be back very soon on Rabid Noise. Hey guys, just want to take a minute to give a shout out to our podcast supporters, RW Promotion, who are the best in the business when it comes to printing posters, flyers, banners, badges, business cards, you name it. They've got what it takes to help you get everything you need to help spread the word about your band or business. And with a blistering turnaround, they'll make sure you get your product ASAP. So get in touch with Richard and the team at www.rwpromotion.com.au or shoot them an email at info@rwpromotion.com.au. Also want to give a shout out to the guys at Blacklight Art and Design, who in my opinion are the Gold Coast best screen printers. So, we've gotten many band shirts and even our own Rabid Noise shirts done through these guys. And they've also got one of the fastest turnarounds I've ever seen. So all quality prints at competitive prices. So whether it's band merchandise, sporting teams, promotional garments or workwear, they've got you covered. So hit them up at www.blacklightad.com.au or email them at info@blacklightad.com.au. So big thanks to those guys for helping us to bring you this podcast each and every week and for, of course, supporting the metal scene. So now it's back to Rabid Noise. And we're back with Elliot from Alestorm. Now, your latest album, Sunset on the Golden Age, was released last year, and you've been touring the world in support of it. Which of the songs have been the most challenging off that to interpret live?
The most challenging is 1741, the Battle of Cartagena, the big long epic one, because it has by far the most difficult guitar solo of any Alestorm song, and particularly for me, there's just like throughout every verse of the song and all the middle sections and stuff, there's just like really fast arpeggios that I'm playing the whole time. Like I don't really get a break at all in that song. And then there's like the death metal, black metal, screamy stuff which I also have to do, and it's like 7 minutes long. So for me, that's definitely the most challenging. I mean, if you were to ask Chris, maybe Wooden Leg would be the most difficult because it's just relentless vocals all the way through. The whole album, we just like kicked everything up a notch. Everything's more difficult to do and sing and play and more technical. Which, for a band like us, which is just stupid poppy music really, I think it's difficult to get technical without like alienating your fans because they just like our music because it's sing-along and catchy. So I think we managed to pull that off, make things more complicated but still more mainstream, which is nice. Yeah.
When it comes to playing keyboards live, do you use a MIDI or is it just the keyboard itself?
It's just the keyboard. I use a Korg Cross, which is it's the entry level like Korg keyboard. To be quite honest, like there's obviously a lot more expensive and bigger and heavier workstation keyboards that you can buy that sound amazing. But I'm not a strong guy, and I have to carry this thing on the bus and on the train to the airport and around festivals and set it up and put it away, and I just find that the one that costs £500 sounds perfectly fine for what we do, and I can pick it up with one hand, and I think that's the most important thing, to be honest. I used to use like MIDI and laptops and rack-mounted stuff, but it's just more things to carry. We're a touring band. We very rarely play anywhere that doesn't involve at least one plane journey to get there. So anything you can just pick up and bring. It's the same with the rest of our rig on stage. We don't use any amps or anything. It's all digital, all little pedals, and our guitarist uses a little Line 6 thing. and everything's just small and lightweight and cheap, to be honest.
Whatever works,
cheap stuff sounds good these days. Yeah, cheap stuff is good these days. Like bedroom studios and stuff, you can get great stuff that you can fit in your hand. It's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely do. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because a lot of bands I've spoken to have gone that way too, and they've just got amps for show on stage, just to make the stage look pretty.
Yeah, there's all those like pictures popping up recently of like, you know, shots from behind the stage at festivals where there's probably some band like Black Veil Brides or something with a pile of empty guitar cabinets getting ridiculed for not playing true metal. But everyone does it. It's simply for luck, and it looks good, and that's the important thing. Especially with, like, the way we set up our stage with keyboards at one side and drums at the other. We don't have room for a big wall of amps, you know. It's nice to have a big empty stage to run around on. I think that's the most important thing.
Definitely, man. Well, have you guys got ideas for the next album?
Yeah, there's stuff off the last album that didn't make it. You know, we have like an ideas folder that we contribute to. Like, we all have a Dropbox folder that we can write little bits of MIDI and guitar profiles and little recordings in. We have maybe one or two songs that are roughly, you know, finished as songs, but they'll get changed before we record them. There'll be a couple of years, I suppose, yet until we go and record it and release it. But we're always coming up with stuff. You know,
everyone's still enjoying Sunset. It's a brilliant album, dude, and can't wait to hear those songs live. It's going to be awesome. Well, we're going to go to the track Captain Morgan's Revenge. Thanks for hanging with us tonight, man, and we'll, of course, see you in Brisbane on November 26th at Max Watts.
Absolutely. Thank you.